Hi guys, so today I created this look, which is just a nice light eye with these bright purple lips. This is one of my favourite lipsticks for autumn, but because it's still quite bright, now we're kind of on the verge, it's still warm but it's not a full summer. I thought this is the perfect in-between colour as well. So I'm starting off with priming my skin with L'Oreal Skin Perfection Primer. This is a really thick silicone primer, so you might not like it if you don't like that feeling, but for me I feel like it really kind of smooths out my pores and fills them in and gives a nice smooth base to the skin. And then again, as always, use my L'Oreal Infallible foundation. The reason I use this every single video basically is because it's the only one I've got to match me at the minute. My natural skin colour is NC15, so all my usual foundations are around that shade. And I don't want to spend all my money on an expensive foundation that's not going to match me for much longer. So this is why I use the L'Oreal Infallible every day. But when it gets to winter, I'll be using more regular foundations. And then using my Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer, and this is in Fair. I would usually use light, but I've run out of my light, so I'm using Fair and just making sure to blend it in really well. And I'm blending that in with my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. And I'm also going to pop a dab of that on the chin because I've got quite a round short face and I don't really have much of a chin, it kind of blends all into my neck, so I like to emphasise my chin a bit more, so I pop it on my chin. And then I'm going to set that concealer with the RCMA No Colour Powder. What I do with this is I tip a bit out into the centre of my hand and then dab my sponge into it and push it into the skin. And I'm going to pop that under the eyes, on the eyelids to prime for eyeshadow, and also on my chin where I put the other part concealer. And then whatever is left in my hand, I'm just going to grab a big fluffy brush and just dust it all over the skin, just so it doesn't give that really white cast that it does when you push it in. I just want it a nice light bit to set the makeup and allow me to apply powder products on top. And then I'm filling in my eyebrows with the Maybelline Colour Tattoo in Creamy Beige. And this is a hair and makeup addiction brush, I do believe. It's my favourite eyebrow brush ever. I lost it for a couple of months, couldn't find it. And then when I moved house I found it under my bed. And oh, it was the best day of my life when I found this brush again. And then I set them with my L'Oreal, I think it's called the Brow Artist Plumper. It's the brow gel. And then taking my Smashbox Full Exposure palette, I'm taking the lightest transition shade and just running that backwards and forwards in my crease for some definition and transition. But like I said, this is going to be a really light eye, there's nothing going to be too dramatic about it, so it's just building up a bit of definition. And then taking the next shade, I'm going to do the same thing, just focus a tiny bit lower down. And I'm going to kind of bring this on the lid also, but super light, you can hardly tell when I'm applying it. Like I say, just these little touches will create a tiny bit more extra definition than if you didn't apply them. However, they're still not going to be overly noticeable. And if you see that harsh line on that eye there, it would really bugger me because I couldn't see it on the camera. I couldn't see it in the mirror. I could only see it when I looked at myself on the viewfinder. I was there blending that for God knows how long, but I think we fixed it. And then taking the dark brown on a little smudger brush, I'm just going to run that along my lash lines, upper and lower, just again to create a bit more definition at the lash line. And then blending those lines out with the two mid-tone colours. And then taking it's not quite a bright white, but it's very nearly white, it's more of a vanilla shade. I'm going to use that to really, really highlight those in the corners. So I'm just going to keep layering and layering until it's as bright as I want it. And I'm also taking it slightly on the inner part of the lid and also underneath the eye on the inner part, because I want those eyes to be super bright, super light. And then taking the shimmer colour, I forgot to show you, I'm just going to pop that under the brow because I personally like a shimmery brow highlight. And then applying my Rimmel Scandalised Nude eyeliner in the waterline and setting that with the vanilla shade again from the Smashbox Full Exposure palette. This is just going to open up and widen the eyes. And then just popping on a coat of mascara. I'm going to apply false lashes, but obviously because this eye's so neutral, so basic, you really don't need lashes at all. Then taking my bronzer, I'm going to use the second darkest shade to kind of warm up the skin and buff all over it. So this is going to go higher up on the cheekbones, not a strict defined contour. This is going to kind of go everywhere to give a nice bronzy glow. And then using the darkest shade, this is where I am going to contour. So that's going to go right in the hollows of the cheeks, right in the dip of the temple, kind of underneath the chin again. And I also applied a bit down the sides of my nose, not to really contour, but because I thought my nose got quite lost in the lightness of the under eye concealer, there wasn't much definition there. So I just applied some just for some definition, but not really to make it any smaller or change the shape. And then blending that all through with the original brush I used to apply the bronzer. And then I'm popping on these eyelashes, but while the eyelash glue is drying, I'm going to apply my blush, which is Melba by MAC. It's a really nice matte kind of peachy colour. And then I'm going to apply the first eyelash as my glue had got tacky while I was applying that blusher. And then taking the highlight shade from the All About Bronze palette, I'm going to highlight the skin as well. So I'm going to pop it on the cheekbones and round up into the eyebrow, kind of in a C shape. I also bring mine down onto the apples of the cheeks. I know some people don't like this, but I personally do. I like a nice glow when I smile. And also I know quite a lot of people don't like the nose highlight, but I like the nose highlight, so that's why I apply it there. On the Cupid's bow, and again, like I say, I don't have much of a chin, so I do highlight my chin to try and bring that out a bit more. And then last time with a big fluffy brush, go and blend, blend, blend. Then I did an absolute pants job of filming the lipstick, so I'm using MAC's Heroine. And then I also, after I applied the lipstick, I went round with NYX's Purple Rain lip liner just to touch up the edges, and then that completes the look. So I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching.